Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about nouns. And when we talk about nouns, a minute. Today we are going to learn about the nouns. And when we talk about nouns, we say nouns are parts of speech that comprise words that are used to name people, places, animals, objects, and ideas. Almost every sentence will definitely have a noun, and they perform different roles in a sentence. Nouns can act as subjects and indirect objects, a direct object, a subject complement, and an object complement. We are going to look at the examples of nouns, and the first one is people. In people, we have examples of people. We have Rahul, that's the name of a person. Sheila, that's also a name of a person. Man, person. Tommy, woman. Girl, the prime minister. The second one is places, and we're going to look at the examples of places. And the first one is Pancalo, India, Mexico, North Pole, South Africa, the Nile, the Nile River, classroom, bedroom, basketball court, cricket ground, and swimming pool. The third one is animals, birds, aquatic animals, and reptiles. The examples of these are lion, zebra, snake, ostrich, flamingo, deer, cat, fish, and shark. The next examples of nouns is ideas, which is evolution, invention, extinction, arguments, and destruction. The next one is objects or things such as the pot, circle, curtains, paper, bag, blackboard, and cupboard. Those are the few examples of the nouns. The next one, we're going to look at the types of nouns. Nouns can be broadly classified into the first type of a noun is proper noun. And when we say proper noun, these are the nouns that are used to name a person, place, or thing specifically. Yes. Proper nouns always begin with a capital letter. We are told that proper nouns begin with a capital letter. Example is, my name is Rose. That is the name of a particular person. Rose is the name of a particular person. Therefore, it starts with a capital letter. We are told that all the proper nouns start with a capital letter. The second example is, this is my dog Bruno. Bruno is a name of a specific pet owned by someone. Therefore, Bruno, B, starts with a capital letter. The third example is David came back from Minsk. Minsk is a name of a specific place, so therefore letter M in Minsk starts with a capital letter. The next example is Louis Philippe is a famous brand of men's clothing. Louis Philippe is an example of a proper noun, therefore its L starts with a L is capital in that word Louis Philippe. We are going to look at the next type of a noun, that is the common noun. And when we say common noun, these are the nouns that refer to a generic item, group, or place. This means that, unlike proper nouns, they are not used to identify specific people, places, or objects. Common nouns are not capitalized unless they appear at the beginning of a sentence. Yes, we are told that common nouns are not capitalized unless they appear at the beginning of a sentence. So when a common noun appears at the beginning of a sentence, that's why we'll start with a capital letter. Example of a common noun in sentences. The first one is, I bought a pen yesterday. That is a common object. Yes, pen there is a common object. The next example, I'm going to school. School is a common place and it's an example of a common noun. The third example is only 10 employees showed up. Yes. We look at the next example. No, the next type of a noun. That is a singular nouns. When we say singular nouns, these are words that are used to name a single person, place, animal, bird, or object. Examples of singular nouns. There is a little boy in front of our house. Little boy. Boy here is a singular noun because it's a singular noun because it's a single person. The next example of singular nouns, that is my daughter. Daughter here is single person and it's an example of a singular noun. The third example is I found a wounded sparrow in the bush. Sparrow is a single bird, and therefore sparrow is an example of singular nouns. We are going to the next example of the next type of nouns, that is a plural nouns. Plural nouns refer to the number of people, places, animals, or things. Nouns are made plural by adding an s or es or ies or ves to the existing root word. Nouns that end with an s remain the same. Some nouns remain the same in both their singular and plural forms, and some others have totally different spelling. We are told that plural nouns, they refer to a number of people, places, animals, or things. And we are told when making their plural, some nouns they are added, the rules are they are added s or es or res and ves. Furthermore, we are told that nouns that end with an s remain the same. There are some nouns that when they are singular, they have an s, and when they are plural also, the s will remain. Yes, and some nouns remain the same in both their singular and plural forms. Some nouns also, they will be the same in the singular and in their plural forms, and some others have totally different spelling. We are going to look at the examples of the plural nouns, and the first one is I need some apples. Apples is the example of the plural nouns. When these apples, when it's singular, we say apple, and in their plural, we add s to become apples. The next one, did you find the boxes you were looking for? Boxes there is an example of a plural noun. It's in its plural. In their singular, it's box. So we add es to form their plural. The third one, I bought mangoes from the market. Mangoes is a plural noun. It's an example of a plural noun. It's plural. In its singular, we say mangoes. So we've just added es to form its plural. We are going to look at the next type of noun. And the next type is the countable nouns. When we say countable nouns, we mean that these are the nouns that can be counted or measured. Yes, they can be counted or measured. Any noun that can be counted or measured, we refer to them as the countable nouns. We are going to look at another type of noun is uncountable nouns. And the first one, no, the meaning of uncountable nouns, these are the nouns that cannot be counted. Unlike the countable nouns, we say that the countable nouns they can be counted. But when we come to uncountable nouns, these are the nouns that cannot be counted. This category of nouns includes both concrete and abstract nouns. Examples, we are going to look at the examples of the uncountable nouns. And the first one is I have a lot of homework to do. A lot of homework, we can determine how many homework are those. So that is an example. Homework here, a lot of homework. That's an example of an uncountable noun. The second one, I have a cup of tea. We can't count tea, so we've just used I have a cup of tea. That's tea here is an example of uncountable noun. The next one, we are facing terrible weather today. That's also an example of uncountable nouns. We are going to look at the last type of a noun. The last type of noun, that is the collective nouns. And when we say collective noun, we mean that this is a naming word. When we say collective noun is a naming word that is used to denote a group of objects, animals, or people. These are the naming words that is used to denote a group of objects, animals, or people. Examples of the collective noun. Collective noun for groups of animals. So we are going to start with a group of animals. Example is a pride of lion, a flock of sheep, a swarm of bees, a herd of elephants. Those are the collective nouns for groups of people. So for the groups of people, we say a band of musicians, yes, and artists. We have a lot of examples of the collective nouns. Those are only the few. So we are done with the nouns here, and that is the end. That is the end of our lesson. Thank you.